In accordance with our present standing of placement through exploration of XANDRIA's theater of dimensions, a journey you and I are taking together in mutual company through whatever vantage point we have, for me, first interaction, especially to these later pieces, I consider Burn Me on face of first approach, and I automatically see an echoed reminiscence with past works we've surveyed. A limited selection, certainly on dramatic titling. I already see a close association, though framed differently. Maybe on the more tragic ambiance. We Are Murderers, We All, and Dark Night of the Soul on First Suspicion immediately come to mind. But then I consider as well the potency of that image as it's conjured up in your mind, and I think of a selection of pieces, a lot of them in fact, with Theater of Dimensions. And it's easy to see this given, again, the conceptual emphasis of what they're striving for with this release. A central thread that is best materialized, I think, having read the narrative in advance, with the title number, which we're getting to imminently. The 14-minute one. It's going to be, I'm sure, an artistic doozy. A good one, though. Doozy might sound negative. Anyway, I think of the Burn Me image, and what that looks like as we imagine it in a realistic sense. And I associate that immediately with the depth and the intricacy of vision, description, color detailing, for example, and shape. What's described in various XANDRIA pieces on this record, and they're quite potent images, really solid line work too on concept, to whatever, again, the subject matter might be. And I have seen points of variance with the conceptual vibe, especially with these later releases, where there are sort of a departed layers, at least, in the way that I experience it. Now, of course, music is very much a subjective art, and with XANDRIA, I'm sure that'll, well, obviously at this point it's been no different in any piece we've humored, and it has been quite a deep dive that we're broadening out. Again, a full album run-through of what I promised you. And I've given a lot of attention lately to XANDRIA. We're only 3 pieces out from finishing this record together. Why not finish the ride tonight, in fact, and catalog yet another chapter of experiencing XANDRIA in a greater depth through a historical run of reference to their earlier library, with a selection, not maybe the entire run, but I chose to start at the Manuela Crowler era and work my way up to the present, where I began, in fact, immediately. What teased this, what I would say, where this experience evolves from. Generally, again, a present-day bridge, that's what brought me in for the front lead vocalist now on Bevuverhees, but exploring the other talents as well, Manuela Crowler, Diana van Giersbergen. I happen to really respect every era that we've witnessed together, again, and however many pieces we've recognized in mutual company, as music is best enjoyed. And again, I want to keep this open to anybody on approach. If you happen to be a longtime fan or an initiate listener, I want you to feel welcome to the graces of experiencing XANDRIA's work, a truly capable band within the German origin symphonic metal regard, a favorite landscape of mine in particular with subfields respect in the metal world, of which I've been a metalhead for many years. Though again, I welcome any extreme and any artist here, and any piece we've welcomed and any talent has been quite advantageous to witness, but certainly in the European variety where we've taken exclusive deep dive and focus, that artistry is quite commanding, I find. And again, I'm somebody with XANDRIA that likes every era we've taken an investigation to, but certainly this one, getting a window of Diana's membership has been quite the ride and beautifully awesome of an experience, and one that will continue to evolve. Again, in the midst of taking, and I've explained this before, in the midst of our XANDRIA history deep dive, this is also the first step towards later directions, specifically a Diana van Giersbergen artistic deep dive, which we are getting to with subsequent chapters of her work post-departing from XANDRIA or in preparation or in the midst of. I'm thinking of Ex Libris notably, or again, subsequent efforts, Diana, and maybe some of her collaborative work. We're getting to all those destinations, and it's going to be quite fun, but this was our first entrance together, you and I, through XANDRIA, and it has been quite the welcome retreat. Whatever respective numbers you look at as well, beautifully defined pieces structured incredibly well on part of an instrumental scoring of, again, a symphonic and natural power metal intrusion with different tones sometimes mixed in, an independent personality for Theater of Dimensions readily expressed or on the vocal extremes. As a spinto soprano singer, with a really masterful delivery, Diana truly impresses. And you might not necessarily on entrance, again, if this is a first footing for you, and I would recommend, because we are on the 11th piece of 13 we're taking an examination of together, that you humor the first 10 and come back. That would be my recommendation to you. And enjoy this how you like, in mutual company or for yourself. I'll let that determination be up to you. But I can't recommend that enough. Theater of Dimensions is quite a dense journey that you will appreciate the leads in what's in preparation of our experiences to Burn Me. Each step of where we go offers fulfillment and absolute advance on craftsmanship and a beautiful unity between works. I do see, again, as I said, a connector thread on narrative and on musical vision, beautifully explored with this collection. And let's broaden out with one more piece together, you and I, as we near the end. The first chapter, though, in our Diana von Geusbergen journey. And one of the later chapters in Xandria, we're getting to the end of a survey with them, and it's been quite a long and fun ride, but one that was necessary, I think. Just based on our experiences together, whatever era we've looked at, Neverworld's End, Sacrificium, so far into Fire Ashes EP, this album, The Wonder Still Awaiting, all of which are quite rewarding listens in my opinion. Let's continue fulfillment of this vision, cast of Theater Dimensions as we near the end, but approach Burn Me first.
Burn me, take me to the fire, heaven's hunting ground. Angels dancing in the wolves.
Again, independent presence. This one has a bit of a swing that's a little more direct. Key root. Oh, this is kind of echoing that, yeah. The personality measured very well in those first 3 original songs on the Fire and Ashes EP. I see a connection with this number on key to the first 2. There's just something about it.
I've seen the devil sneak inside to start the sweet intoxication like candlelight. It's like a black mass celebration.
Is there a vocal guest on this one? Because that's not Diana. But it's a good duality of switch. And this one starts on the chorus verse. Interesting move. A lot of the pieces on Theater Dimensions have not done that. Diana really has a quality delivery. Who is that ever vocalist, though? Because they add a lot of dimension to Diana's work. Very unique. Darker undertones. This one has a fancy root again on score, quite traditional to Xandria on the power metal extreme. But it still feels quite fresh. A bit mystical too. Definitely getting an ancient swing on personality. The vocals really stand out on this one. Fantastic pattern to her notes again as always. Even scoring and development. This one tracks quite well. Those advanced reaches, man, she impresses, doesn't she? The resonation on that lower layer, whoever that is, it really captures such a nice picture on this note. Diana manages the higher layer, and somebody else presents that lower threshold. Mixing her natural vibrato and spinto soprano personality with a raspiness. Two very different vocal extremes on personality, but again, layers to that chorus work. Told really well. Again, an organized song on face, and it's very immediate beginning. To, in fact, initiate with the chorus is a differentiated move on the body of Theater of Dimensions, as I've noticed it. We've not done that before. We've had choir entrances, we've had differentiated verses, some pre-chorus sections, but nothing in terms of a directed chorus focus. I like the arrival on that one. Paired with, again, a good score, which has somewhat of a face, again, on connection to that earlier EP. And I've said this again with Theater of Dimensions to each piece we've recognized, there is an independence in some way with each work, or maybe a mixture of the traits. I've at least tried to identify one if each piece we get to, at least the one that's the most superficial. And this one, I see something in the rhythm construction that immediately harkens back to those first two numbers on the Fire and Ashes EP immediately. Not on the same key, not even on the exact same pace, but the independence of voice so directly. In advance, by the way, of welcoming whoever that dual layer is on a vocal presence. And if you were to clarify down below, I didn't see it credited on any of the lyric sites I'm referencing at the moment. But it's a very interesting arrival. And again, to pair whoever that is with Diana, two very different ranges and identifiers on vocal personality, and yet they click very well given the differentiated thresholds they're sitting at with these songs. Diana, higher, and again, that identified party, at least for now. I will reference this, I'm sure, in terms of the video titling, so there will be a clear reference for you, but at a lower register. Really evens out, again, the body of that chorus section, giving it a lot more dimension, no pun intended. But there's a lot of atmosphere and life to, again, the chorus sections and the way they breathe later on. Once that clicks in, again, on initiation, Diana introduces us. And there's a good mixture, again, of melodic and operatic extremes. She really hits everything so well. Very precisely in terms of a performer, she's impressive. I've said that to every encounter we've had, whether it be on Sacrificium or beyond now at Theater of Dimensions. That has been a common courtesy that, well, it speaks for itself, I think. Capable member. Again, quite dramatic on presence, individual though, I feel, on musical construction. There's just something about it that has an independent life. I really like that about Theater of Dimensions. Even though there's a general cohesion between the works, I see a fleshed voice with this. It does stand out. I of course hope you do too, but I won't speak for you in terms of response, but I hope you liked that piece and appreciate it. Again, Theater of Dimensions is certainly a worthy experience. I found really stands out in terms of individuality and character. Instantly memorable in any track we've recognized, with more on the way. And for now, though, again, I invite you to share your thoughts down below and perhaps your vantage point, if you wish to, on how you approach Xandria. More to come on our evolution journey. Next up with Queen of Hearts, Reborn. I saw somewhere, I think it was in reference to when Diana departed from the group, I believe one of the former vocalists referred to her as the Queen of Hearts. Calling her a queen is, I think, a very admirable title and fits her. Certainly in memory, she was such a good fit to Xandria, right? As any vocalist, at least in my opinion, has been, but Diana really gives them this added light again on her range. It is so impressive, but the personality to burn me, paired with, again, that dual vocal layer and a competent instrumental score that does stand out specifically, really makes it a specific welcome entrance on the album. I am sure in our next couple of journeys, the last two we have through our mutual survey of this collection, Queen of Hearts will reach an equal aptitude. I would believe so on suspicion, considering it's Xandria we're talking about. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.